What's up guys, Rogue9 here, and today I'll be looking at the origin of another one of the masks featured in Payday 2. Recognize it yet? How about we take a closer look? In this video, I will be covering the Invader Mask. This mask is related to the 2015 Halloween event and can only be unlocked by completing the Skill Shot achievement. This is done by playing the lab rat's job and securing a bag in the secret area. If you missed this event in 2015, fear not. The level is permanently available, which means you can complete the achievement and unlock this mask at any time. If we look at the mask's description, we can see that it is just stuffed full of sci-fi quotes. "I want to believe" is the tagline of the 2008 X-Files movie. "May the Force be with you" is of course from the Star Wars franchise, and "Live long and prosper" is from Star Trek. And finally, "Why can't we all just get along" is a quote from the 1996 movie Mars Attacks.
Why can't we all just get along?
And it is this last quote that gives us the final piece of evidence we need to positively identify the mask's origin, since it is a reference to, but not a perfect replica of, the aliens in Mars Attacks. I'm assuming that the mask is not a perfect copy of these aliens due to copyright, but it is very similar. In both cases, we have a skinless skull with exposed teeth, a missing nose, and an exposed brain. The color scheme of the mask matches the film characters quite well. For the in-game mask, the brain is slightly too small though, as are the eyes. Also, there seems to be kind of a perforated membrane covering the brain itself. We don't see that in the film characters, but I think all in all the resemblance is close enough to make it quite clear that Mars Attacks is the point of reference for this mask. So, what is Mars Attacks? I think the best way to describe this film is a comedy sci-fi satire, and in a way it could be considered a parody of the big sci-fi action blockbusters like Independence Day, which coincidentally was released only a few months earlier. A little known fact about this film is that it was actually based on a 1960s trading card set. The film was an ambitious project and had all the makings of a massive hit. It was directed by Tim Burton, and the final production budget came to $80 million with an additional $20 million spent on advertising. A lot of this sizable budget must have gone towards the star-studded A-list cast. You have Jack Nicholson and the singer Tom Jones, Glenn Close, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox, Jack Black, and even Natalie Portman. And considering what was put into this film in terms of money and talent, it should have been amazing. But, spoiler alert, it wasn't. Considering it came out the same year as the first Independence Day film, it's quite surprising how poor the quality of the special effects was, not only by today's standards but by the standards of back then. And critics of the film will also quickly point out that there seems to be a distinct lack of story, along with maybe even a lack of comedy. I think it's fair to say that the film was a flop at the box office, taking in only about $101 million in total, so barely breaking even. Review scores for the film are solidly mediocre. On IMDb, it currently has a 6.3 out of 10, while the Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes score is 52%. Viewer reviews are slightly better than the critic reviews, with Metacritic giving it a 6.5 out of 10 and Rotten Tomatoes giving it 53%. Maybe it's not really a surprise that the film was a little weak on story, given that it was based on a trading card set. At the same time though, it is so stuffed full of A-list actors of the time that it kind of makes you wonder how they were all part of this film, given what in retrospect seems quite an obvious list of shortcomings. Nevertheless, tribute masks don't just appear in Payday 2 for no reason. Since its release, Mars Attacks has attained somewhat of a cult status, and even though if you're watching it for the first time today, it might not blow you away as the amazingly awesome film that it should have been, it might still provide kind of an odd sense of fascination. Much like watching a crossover between the musical Starlight Express and the Human Centipede. Well, maybe not quite that extreme, but you get what I mean, right? Anyway guys, there's another background to one of the masks featured in Payday 2 that you might not have known about. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode. By the way, did you know I once created an interactive video based on a choose-your-own-adventure book featured in Skyrim? Some people say it's quite cool. Check it out, link on the left.